Mark, and it's time for another show. Of course, every week we have a live show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central. So if you're here, welcome to the show. Clayton Animations and Henry and Clay Mara are here. Tonight's show, we're going to talk about our monthly challenges. Of course, we have other topics lined up as well, so stay tuned for that stuff. But of course, this particular challenge, we extended the time for 2 extra weeks because, unfortunately, with summertime and everybody on vacation and everybody going out to, have fun. I noticed that like every summer, it's kind of like that. It gets kind of slow. There's not a lot of entries and so forth. So we extended it a little bit just for some people to get some of their entries done. And there were 3 entries this time, and the topic was fantasy. And Clay Mara won the previous challenge, so she chose the topic, and it's a very broad sort of definition. Now, Zakira made 2 entries, and so we're not going to count this particular entry as part of the challenge, but we're going to count her second one as part of the challenge. So this one here is called The Book of Zaios, and she says, I made this on May 30th, so I think I can submit this as an entry, though I would like to make another one if I have time. This is an outdoors claymation about clay creatures, the Zaios and the Mooks. And this is a short sort of test with clay and real life footage. In fact, only the last scene has stop motion animation. It was a lot of fun. So I think we watched this once, but we're going to watch this again. And let me open it up here. Okay, here we go. Oh, pretty neat. Got some real snails. Let's watch it again here. And there's also some effects there going on, some sort of like, what do you want to call that? Little stars and things floating around. And also the snail. Looks like even the snail was decorated with looks like some kind of maybe sparkles or something. So pretty neat little film, and so we're not going to count this one as part of the monthly challenges, but it's still pretty cool to see, and so that required a little bit of figuring out probably the time it took for that snail to move across, as well as moving the puppet and getting an even speed, and so and the cat, I think, is I don't know what he's doing in there, but hopefully he doesn't eat anybody. Alright, so pretty neat little film. And, let's see, so Clayton Animation says, hopefully I should get one done for July. I need to get back into animating. And, I think we're going to extend the time to probably 6 weeks. Well, let me see here. How many weeks? Because I'll be getting back. I'm going away for a while. For 3 weeks, starting July 20th, for 3 weeks. So, 2027, the 3rd. So, it's probably going to be like a 6 or 7 week challenge, this next one. And That seems kind of long maybe for some. I don't know if that's too long for some of you guys, because I know we usually do it for 5 weeks. But I think the extra time is okay because we extended our current challenge for 2 weeks, and we got at least 2 entries, actual entries for the challenge, and school's starting up, so I don't know what's gonna go on with everybody's schedule out there, but it's probably gonna be like 7 weeks because I'm going to the Philippines with my wife and my son, and yeah, I think it's gonna be a while before we can review it, unless of course Ron Cole wants to host the show for a week or two. Because I won't be hosting. There will be no live shows for about 3 weeks while I'm gone. So I don't know what you guys are gonna do, but anyway, Clay Mara did create a short for this also, and after we watch this, we're gonna actually watch a tutorial she made for our site and also for people to get inspired by. But this one here is her entry. So this one is called. Says this is a fantasy film about a little feisty girl named Castell in a faraway land. I tried a different style of animating. I keep trying to find new ways of storytelling. Hope you all like it. All right, so let's watch this here.
Open your eyes and see. Clay Mara, Clay Animations.
All right, so she becomes a magical girl, and it's kind of like almost a teaser for a feature film or something. And so Clayton Animation says, "I'll cry in a corner." Well, I don't know. I don't know if anybody could actually replace me for 3 weeks. It would be kind of nice, but I don't know how we could do that actually. But anyway, let's watch this one more time because I didn't have the volume up towards the beginning. So let's watch this once more.
Open your eyes and see.
So Clay Mara is saying she might try to be like a
Clay Mara,
fill-in
Clay
person for
Animations.
our live show. I'm not really sure, like I say, if it's possible, because you would need my YouTube account and a whole bunch of stuff. Let me think. Yeah, I'll have to think about it and maybe talk to you guys. And Ron Cole is asking what dates I'll be away, and I'll be gone from July 20th for 3 weeks on. So I think that might be 20th is a Monday, so it'll be the 22nd, 29th, and 5th that I won't be here. But anyway, let's discuss this now. Some of the things I like about this are, I noticed Claymora, Claymora always, it's like she is more like a 3D painter. Her stuff is always like the clouds are painted with clay, and we have some forced perspective going on with this castle, and the eyes are colored with clay like paint, almost like an anime style. And then there's replacements, so different expressions, and the background is again painted with clay. So it's really awesome. I really like that. I think Joan Gratz would be somebody that would be inspiring for Claymore because of her clay painting work, and Will Vinton's. So Ron says he's on vacation during the first week of August, so he can't do that one. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't know if, like I say, if we can do it, because I had to kind of give out my YouTube password and account, and then also you'd have to get set up with OBS, and there's a lot involved in that, and it's all custom settings. So like all these things, like like this news ticker and broadcast. I mean, you don't really need this stuff, but it's not so easy to set up. And you have the audio set up, and it might be too much of a hassle to do for some of you guys. But I'll think about it. I'm gonna see if I can think of a way that it's possible. I'm not sure yet though. What I might be able to do is set something up like way ahead of time, and then give you guys the codes to put into OBS. So we'll see. I have to do some research still. Alright, so anyway, that was Claymora's film, and I thought it was really cool. Alright, and then here is the last one, and this is from Zakira, and she says, this is my new entry for this challenge. So we saw the first one that she didn't really create for the challenge, but then she made this one. So turn the volume up. Let's watch.
There is a balance to the universe. The struggle to maintain that balance is the stuff of legends. For there can be no good without evil, no love without hate. Life needs death. Innocence feeds lust. There can be no heaven without hell, no light without me. I am darkness.
So let's watch that one more time here.
There is a balance to the universe. The struggle to maintain that balance is the stuff of legends. For there can be no good without evil, no love without hate. Life needs death. Innocence feeds lust. There can be no heaven without hell, no light without me. I am darkness.
All right, so very good. When do we start? What are we starting? I think we did start, hopefully. I think Henry maybe doesn't see the video. Let me see here. Ah, okay. Maybe he figured it out. He said, never mind. All right, so those are the entries. So we have Claymora's, and we have Zakira's. And so how many people? We have about 9 people watching tonight. So I'm going to take a tally. What we're going to do is we're going to take a tally of who you guys want to be the winner of the challenge. So if there's 9 people, that means that there's one person that's odd, which means that, let me see, so Clay, Mara, and Zakira. So the question I have for you guys is, who would like Clay Mara to be the winner of this month's monthly challenge? This is her film. I'll watch it one more time. He did not, he had his volume turned off during the live show. So anyway, Henry, we'll watch this one more time, okay? For you.
Clay Mara, Clay Animations.
So that was Clay Mara's entry. And then here is Zakira's. And so the audio part on these are both good. And here we are.
There is balance to the universe. The struggle to maintain that balance is the stuff of legends. For there can be no good without evil, no love without hate. Life needs death. Innocence breeds lust. There can be no heaven without hell, no light without me. I am darkness.
So I don't really agree with that, because that means that one entry has to be bad if one entry is good. So I don't really believe either of these entries are bad, but at least the devil thinks that might be the case. So who wants Zakira to win the challenge? So Jack Nash says, I vote for darkness. And Ron Cole says, Clay Mara. It's a tough one, isn't it? They're both really good. So so Clayton Animation says, I vote for Zakira. Sorry, I know I spelled it wrong. Yeah, it's with an X. So it's Xiakeyra. Seems like I have a cold or something. My nose is runny. Click this here. Yes, so Zakira. And CB says, I vote for Claymora. So that means that so far it's a tie. We have 2 for Zakira and 2 for Claymora. Who else? And I don't know. It's a tough one. And Harry says, I vote for Zakira. Alright, so we have 4 more people that need to vote. Who else is out there that hasn't voted? Anybody? It says 8 people are watching, so if you guys want to vote, make sure to do it now. And if not, you have maybe 15 more seconds. So you gotta vote. So we have Claymara and Zakira are the 2 entries. Going once, going twice. Anybody else? All right. So if that's the case, by 1 vote, I'm gonna call it. If nobody else votes, anybody else? Anybody? All right. So Zakira is going to be the winner, and by one vote. And I think that was probably extremely hard to figure out who is best because to me they both were awesome. I really liked both of them. I think Zakira's use of the soundtrack was really good, and I think even though Claymora's soundtrack is really good, I think her set building slash painting with clay is really amazing. So and Zakira's puppet also was really good too. I think that the well, both of them are good, but I think this one here is really nice. I mean, the proportions and everything looks cartoony, but realistic in a sense too. So really really neat. And I guess that's from is it from Legend maybe? This character, the girl. But really nice and really imaginative, and so thank you guys both for entering. I guess Clay Mara's winning streak has come to an end, at least for now, anyways. And so I'll let Zakira know that she won, and I guess the next challenge, like I said, it's gonna last for a long time. It's gonna be starting, as soon as Zakira comes up with a new topic. Gonna be for let's see, the 20th, 1, 2, and then let's see, I guess maybe till August 5th. No, August 12th. When do we get back exactly? So we're gonna leave the 20th. 1, 2, the 10th. Now, I'm thinking the 19th because I figured if I come back on the 10th, I'll have jet lag. I don't know where my mind is going to be. I'll probably still be unpacking my bags. That would only give me 2 days to get ready. So actually, we might have like a 6-week monthly challenge, which is pretty long. Zakira will have to keep that in mind for the topic. I guess, I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Is that good for you? Do you think that 9 weeks or 8 weeks, like what would be too long, for you guys? Because I'm thinking the 12th. So that'd be like maybe 6 weeks. 1, 2, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, that's like 7 weeks because it's only the first. I think it's a pretty good amount of time. I mean, I know that. Let me think here. I think the stop motion haikus were like what, 6 months or something. You think shorter is better? See, I'm afraid to go shorter because I could do that, and we could just, before I leave on the 20th, we could have our, we can judge our entries on the 19th. But actually, you know what, guys? Because if I'm gonna be leaving on Wednesday, that Wednesday, or that Thursday at like 3 in the morning. So I don't even know if I'll have a live show then on the 19th. So this might be the last 2 weeks I have a live show until I get back. So that would only be 2 weeks to do a monthly challenge. I think that's too short. I don't think anybody would get anything done in 2 weeks. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Like do one for 2 weeks and then do a longer one for, yeah. Oh, okay, so Ron Cole is saying it was every 3 months. They were quarterly, the stop motion haikus. 3 months. And I think when that was going on, a lot of people entered too, didn't they? Even Nick Hilligas was getting involved. And I know he was he tried to do some of our monthly challenges, but he said that the amount of time is too short for him. So yeah, I think 2 weeks it's too short. It would be too short, but so every 3 months, wow. All right. Well, anyways, I will come up with something. I'm gonna have to time everything with my trip, and like I say, I might consider offering others to take over the show just for the month, every week, just to kind of talk about stop motion news and things like that. But like I say, it's a technical hurdle to overcome if we're gonna do that. All right. Well, anyways, guys. So Zakir, congratulations to you, and hopefully you'll see this recording if you're not here already, and uh, and rejoice. Okay. So, moving forward, why don't we look at Henry's webpage before I do that first? Okay. So Henry has a website, and he asked me if I could show it on our live show. And yeah, so Ron Cole says, I kind of missed the challenges on Stop Mo Shorts. I only got online as a member just as that site was coming to an end. Yep. And I'm going to the Philippines. We're going to have fun. And Clayton Animation says, I actually have an idea. It would probably take the amount of time we're talking about to make it. Okay. Well, the idea would have to coincide with Zakira, who would pick the challenge theme. So we'll see. That would be kind of cool if it did match up, though. So anyways, Henry has a website, and he's a member of our page at animateclay.com. And this site it's set up for showing his animations, and it's pretty nice. I guess, what is this? Is this a let's go down here. I'm gonna scroll all the way down. Okay, so it's a WordPress site, on WordPress. And WordPress is free. Anybody can use it, and this kind of gives a good example of what you can do with it. I know Joy Stamp, I think, has also a WordPress, if I'm correct. And so a lot of animators who want to show off their work, I would recommend you make a WordPress at the minimum, because you can give people your link. And when you start to get good and you want to find jobs, either freelance or you want to, work for a studio or something, and you're writing an email to the producer and they're like, hey, where's your work? I know that, even Richard Kent Burton, I talked to him recently because I had a company that approached me about doing some animation, and I'm going to the Philippines and I can't do it. So I turned it down, and so I sent a message on Facebook, or posted a message, and Richard Kent Burton is like the greatest animator in the world, and he said he might be interested in doing the job. And he's like, well, but I don't have a website, I don't really have anything, and all I have is I have my Facebook. And then he didn't update his Facebook with his updated demo reel, so he had an old reel. He wasn't happy with it. And I know I'm sort of revealing something about Richard, but he's such a great guy and such an amazing animator. And but he wasn't thinking like, oh, I can send a link to somebody, it would be simple, and I can find a job, for freelance. So it's really good, even if you don't have anything really amazing on your page or whatever, it's not updated, at least it gives you something to work on later, even if it's not perfect. And then you can give your link out and say, well, this is what I have so far, or this is my current work, and it's simple. It's the easiest thing you can do, and especially when something unexpected comes up, or somebody's like, hey, we have a job available, So where's your stuff, basically? So what Henry did is he made all these YouTube videos and he posted them on here. And we're gonna watch one now, and this is called The Alien. We'll play here. It's not playing. I'm gonna try to skip forward. Oh, it's stuck. Why are you stuck? Alright. Come on now. I'm gonna refresh the page here. See if we can get it to work. And welcome to the live show, Hebert. And so Henry says, to me, I use both my YouTube channel and the site, but the site is easier to use. Alright, here's the video. Ah, you know, what is going on with YouTube here? Alright, I'm gonna click the YouTube link directly. Let's see if this will play. Ah. Sorry about that, everybody. Alright, so there's the animation. It's pretty good. And I know Henry's posted it on our site already, so you guys have probably already seen it, but it is worth watching, you know, one more time. And Ron says, I'm so glad I started my own site. I've gotten a few jobs and customers out of it. I didn't think anybody would be able to find it, but apparently they can. And Hebert says, wow, the animation is so awesome. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I like it. Let's see if we can get this one to play. Oh, come on. Here we go. Are you going to work? It's not playing. Alright, maybe I'll change quality. I think our internet's been kind of weird lately. I don't know why things don't play anymore. Even Facebook's not really working for me. I'll click the YouTube link. Alright, let's see. Come on. YouTube does not want to work with us for some reason. But anyway, if you guys at home want to watch this, you can go to Turtleson, which is Turtleson, turtleson.wordpress.com, and it's Turtleson Films. And there's an about section as well, so you can learn more. And it says, hello, I am a filmmaker also interested in science. I make stop motion films similar to Coraline, Frankenweenie, Paranorman, etc. This is my animations blog. If you are interested in being in my cast for either voice acting, editing, music, storyboards, or props, etc., please let me know either on my blog or email me at henryq.turtleson@yahoo.com. Some of my animations are available at youtube.com user one and only Henry, which is a pretty cool way to make a name for YouTube. So you can see here is his YouTube channel, and the whole page is acting very strange because I'm logged in, I guess. But so his most popular one is Evolution. So let's see if we can watch that one here. Please load. All right. not playing, guys. It's not playing. Why don't you want to play? It's no fun. Yeah, so you guys will have to try at home. Unfortunately. Alright. But anyway, it's a neat little page, and yeah, you know, Henry, I tried to. I went to your YouTube channel and tried to play, and I think it's my internet connection. I think that the speed is not so good as of late, or they're doing something weird with, I don't know. Somebody behind the scenes is pulling some strings, and things have gotten slow. And Ron Cole says, I have a Wix site which is allegedly free, but it really only reaches the public if you pay a fee, but the fee is very affordable. And Henry says, personally, the one I like the most is The Worm. The Worm. Let's see if it'll play. The others haven't played, so. Oh, there we go. Alright, so I guess that's a teaser. That is a teaser of The Worm. That's it. My internet is actually great. I'm just trying to tease you guys. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why it's doing that. And Ron says, my advice is make a commercial for yourself on YouTube like an actual TV commercial. I did that, and I'm amazed at how many people have found it and my website because of it. Yeah, you know, a lot of people have done that with some success, like you, Ron. It's one of those strategies people have used, and it's smart. I think it's really smart. Alright, so anyway, this is Henry's blog, and there's a lot of updates on here. And he also lists, he has a WordPress, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and of course email. And you can see all those right here. So turtleson.wordpress.com and facebook.com/Henry Q, QIU, Turtleson, and twitter.com/HQ Turtleson. So let's go on the Facebook page. Let's see. Oh, it doesn't work. Yeah, you might check that out, Henry. I'm not sure what's going on there. Alright. But maybe he's going to fix that soon. And look, even the page isn't really loading here. I'm getting these black bars and stuff. I don't know what's going on with my internet. Hopefully next week will be better. Okay. And even what's going on here? Why are you acting this way, internet? I'm getting very upset. You're being very bad. Come on. Oh. I can't do anything now. So, anyway, I can actually talk, so that's a good thing. Hopefully I can still talk. One thing I wanted to mention, which I can't show you as of right now, is that Facebook, a lot of people are using Kickstarter, and a lot of people are using Indiegogo, and a lot of people are using, you know, different means of funding their films. PayPal is another way that you can fund your film. And so the thing I wanted to talk about with that is Facebook is actually opening up a new form of payment that you can give to others. And what you do is, and I'm just gonna close this, guys. I can restart this hopefully, and maybe I need to just restart it. Yeah. Yeah, there's the internet. You can see what it's doing. It's having a big fit in the background here. All right, let me open this. But Facebook Messenger, is not something that a lot of people like. I know that people use it according to what I understand, um, in order to basically talk to their friends on Facebook, but they're not really. Here we go. Let's reload it. Reload. They're not really into Facebook Messenger. It's actually a really crappy program or app for your phone, and everybody hates it, right? But the good news about it. Let's see if I can load it, please. Thank you. This was going to be my example here. So Hector Ulysses wrote to me. He said, "Hey, Mark Spess. Thanks. Good. Good to meet you." I said, "Nice to meet you too." And so Hector, I don't know Hector at all, but you'll notice here that there are some buttons on the bottom, and I can't zoom in for you guys. But there's some little buttons here, and these will actually show up on your phone as well. And there's a emoticon button. There is a add photos button, and there is this. There's a little dollar sign with the circle around it. And so what is cool about this, and why does this affect animators? And the reason why I'm saying it affects animators is this might be a great tool for people to raise funds for their short films. And according to what I understand, sending money back and forth to your friends is actually free. And if you guys recall, I think it was last week I talked about, either last week or 2 weeks ago, where I had donated to a person's Indiegogo campaign. And when I did that, I think I sent only $7. It wasn't a lot. And I think maybe a few other people sent $5 and $2. It's not a lot of money, but the money was being sent to somebody who really didn't have any money at all. And so for them, it was I can buy some supplies, I can get some wire, maybe I can get some, simple materials and so forth. And so I think it was maybe 30 days later or something. I think the campaign lasted for 30 days. So the campaign ended, and this person gets a message from Indiegogo. Now, Indiegogo takes a cut, right? And then also what they do is they take a certain amount of money for transferring funds from America to, I think it was Chile or someplace. I forget now. But they take so much money, and after about 5 or 6 people donated, he had only $20 of donations, which is for him a lot, and he made out of it 20 cents, literally. After all the red tape and Indiegogo taking their money, and all these taxes and all this other stuff that they took out, he had 20 cents. So Facebook offers an option to send money back and forth for free. Now, how free it will be for international transactions, or sending money through here, for is it for free, or do you have to pay a fee or not? According to what I read, there's no fee. All you need to do is you go into Facebook, and some people don't like this, which is understandable. Some people do like it, some people don't. But if you use PayPal, the person that set this up for Facebook was, I think, the former president of PayPal. So if you use PayPal and you feel that it's a secure way of sending funds, well, it's probably pretty secure now to send funds through Facebook. And it's just starting to roll out in America. And this way, if you have a large following, and you have a campaign, it's possible to click this button and send. You just click it, and I can't send funds to Hector because he doesn't have a bank account set up with his Facebook page. But if he did, it's a matter of clicking this button, entering the dollar amount that you want to send, let's say $20, and you click send, and that's it. there's no fees. And I think, yeah, even PayPal has fees. You know, Indiegogo has fees. I don't know about Kickstarter. I'm not sure, but I'm sure that they do. So it's kind of a good way to, if you're going to send money, it's actually a more efficient way, and all of your money would go towards that particular person. So it's a good thing. At Hebert, I have other things we need to do tonight, so I can't present your new claymation. But maybe for next week, okay? If you wanna send it to me on Facebook or send me a message on Animate Clay, that would be fine. So Ron Cole says I need to update my Facebook page more, but the problem is I can't post a lot of stuff I work on because my clients need to maintain control of the property. And Ron says I have a lot of stuff I've shot for films that I can't show yet. And Henry says I raise funds on GoFundMe.com/Turtleson. So let's open that up. Let's look at that. Let's see what Henry's doing. Oops. Oh, okay. I see why you did that, because it's YouTube is not letting you post links, right? So let's do this. Delete the spaces. All right. So GoFundMe. Yeah. Now, Henry, can you tell me if they're taking out like a percentage of your donations, or do you get to keep it all? I'm curious. So Ron says if they pay through PayPal, they take a cut. You may end up having to owe money from people donating to you. Yeah. So I've not used it, I have not used it yet, but I think if I send like $10 to somebody in Spain, they could let me know if there's some sort of international transactions, because like I said, from what I know, it's only opening up in America right now. I don't think it's international. So I think it's going to spread, and they might, it's like every company changes their terms of service like once per year, especially if I think PayPal is going public and eBay is going public. I think they're all going to be, they had to change all their terms of services, etc. So Henry says, yes, so GoFundMe takes a little. If someone donates 10, I get about $8.50. It's not too bad, I guess. It's not so bad. So where do they get about, what is that? It's 8. It's like 10.5% or something like that. So this is pretty cool. And so some people have donated. It's got 4 donations. That's great. And this is, helpful for getting, I'm sure, $155, you can definitely get a lot of clay for $150. So that's really awesome. But I did want to share that with you guys. That's something that's going to open up maybe some more doors for people by clicking on the money symbol in your messenger. And Ron says, I'll need to look into this Facebook donation thing, because if there's truly no fee, that would be a game changer. And I'm sure that if it will change, I'm thinking it might be sort of a gimmick to get people to use it, and then they'll probably charge a fee or something, there has to be some fees along the way for sure. But how they're paying for those fees, I'm not sure about how they're doing that. And Henry says he got about 141 out of 155 of donations. That's pretty great. All right, so let's see. We have about 10 minutes left. So to change the topic just a little bit, from funding to our challenges again. And I forgot to mention this. I actually started talking about this before, but Clay Mara created a tutorial video which if you go to our site and click on this monthly challenges link up at the top here, we have all the challenge entry rules. Click here to enter. Of course, we have software suggestions, you can use. So we have lip sync for Max, animation capture software, free options, paid options. And then we have, of course, what the objectives are and how you win, and Facebook, and how you can sign up, and prizes, and all of that kind of stuff. And that reminds me, Zakira gets to download one of our tutorials because we now have prizes. So I'll have to tell her about that as well. But so in the middle of the page here, you'll notice that we have a new tutorial from Claymara, because Claymara has been making challenge entries for almost since the first ones we had with this new updated site. And so the tutorial goes about telling you about storyboarding and story and making puppets, and a little bit about animation and so forth. And it's about 21 minutes long. So if you guys want to kind of get an idea, if you're new to stop motion or clay animation and you want to make a film and you have no experience and you want to know, what is involved and how does Claymara make her films, this is how she does it, and she laid it all out. It's all there. And I think Claymara has consistently made, challenge entries for, the last, 15 entries. I think she skipped like one of them, one or two, but some really awesome stuff. And you can see, like I was telling you, her painterly style. You can see how she painted some character designs, and there's some of her sketches. And I'm just gonna remember to do that later. But it's a lot of fun to watch, and it gives you some ideas. And if you guys are kind of wondering, how do I go about making a challenge entry on time, and what do I do? It's really helpful. And the thing that I thought was really neat, she has some clips from her previous short films, and she shows, she speeds up this section here on making a puppet. She shows you how she makes one. And I'm kind of amazed that YouTube is working now. I couldn't get it to work for Henry's website, and now everything plays. But yeah, her puppet actually is really neat. And you see how she layered it up, and then she added like hair, like grassy sort of hair to him, and I just like it. But anyway, so and then she shows you, kind of how to animate as well. And let me see. I'm gonna go to the animation part here. Where is it? Here it is. So I thought it's a really cool tutorial, and of course she has her voice and music. And she asked me advice, like what should we add to the video, and we kind of worked it out together, and I think she did a really good job. So definitely check it out, guys, if you haven't seen it. And Clayton Hebert says, Clayton Animation, you did a very nice work. I subbed to your channel on YouTube. That's cool. And Henry says, I'm going to look into joining the challenges as well. And Clayton has to go, and she says, I'm going to head out early, has some things to do tonight for this weekend, so it's going to leave. So see you later, Clayton. All right. So anyways, what else do we have, guys? I guess we have about 5 more minutes left to talk. And so one of the things that I found that I thought was really cool, for about $600, you can get a Nikon Coolpix P900, which has a 83 x 2000 millimeter zoom lens. And this has a lot of promise, I think, for stop motion. I'm not really sure if it's good for stop motion just yet, but it has video capabilities, as you can see here. You can shoot video with it, and of course still images. And I think this is really great because if you are doing animation and you want like a good general a camera that has a lens that you can shoot just about anything with, a telephoto lens is really good to have because you can set your camera up at a distance and zoom in on things. So if you have, for example, a puppet and you want to have a really super close up of a hand, or like let's say the character has a map, let's say a treasure map drawn on his hand or something like that, and you had to zoom in on it. If you have let's say like a 50 millimeter lens, you have to get that 50 millimeter lens really close to that puppet hand, and it doesn't leave you a lot of space for animating and getting in between the camera and the puppet. And so that's a big problem for animators, since the first animation was invented. So one of the things that you usually do is you get a telephoto lens and you zoom in. Either that, or you get a really high megapixel, camera, like a Canon EOS 60D or something, and you get some good optics on it, and you take the highest quality pictures you can, and then you can later on in post-production you can zoom in on something digitally. But when you do that, you're actually getting a less quality image because you're zooming in, and the pixels that you would have around the edges are just gone, and you're zooming in on individual pixels. So you get a grainier image that way. But with the telephoto lens like this, you can zoom in and get a pretty good high quality still image. And that's preferable to digitally zooming in. And so that's why optically this is a great lens on a camera for about $600. But the problem is, of course, if you buy it, you can't trade out lenses. You can't take it, you can't put on a 35 millimeter lens or a 50 millimeter or, whatever you might have. Like if you have Nikon lenses or Canon lenses or something, I don't believe you can change the lenses out. So what you see here is what you would get, and it would be, all you could do. But, and also the other thing about these kind of cameras is that when you have a lot of glass that makes it able to zoom in like this, your image tends to be darker. So you have to do longer exposures during animation. So there's some trade-offs, but it seems like a pretty nice camera. And the fact that you can zoom in on something, 47 kilometers away, like these mountain peaks, and see all these details is really astounding. I mean, you can't really... there's some other videos I saw where there's people hiking, and like here's one of an airplane. Let's zoom in on an airplane flying at 40,000 feet. And what do you see? You can actually see individual windows. You can see the logos, which means that you could take your Nikon and stick it at the very back side of your room, zoom in on your puppets, and you can walk wherever you want, without worrying about bumping your tripod or anything like that. So Ron says, I recently purchased the Canon Rebel T5 refurbished by Canon, and I'm thrilled with the quality of the camera and the price. Yeah. So check out the zoom on this one here. You can see that airplane is at literally, 35,000, 40,000 feet there. And was able to zoom in from, from this to that. That's amazing. And I mean, for a consumer-based camera with a lens like that, I don't know what you'd really pay to, like if you had a Canon, a lens that is able to do that. I don't really know what that would cost. But here's some I guess if you're into voyeurism, you can even zoom in on your on your neighbors a mile away or whatever. These guys look like they're not very happy with each other. It's like, no, that's not my dog's poop. You pick it up. That's your dog. He pooped on my driveway. Now where's my $5? Let's see what they look like zoomed out here. I haven't seen this, but it seems kind of... This must be in Russia or something. Alright, so they're not really using the zoom to their full capabilities, but... I don't know. I tell you, my dog did not poop on your driveway. So don't tell me that's my dog. It is your dog. Go pick it up. Alright, so anyways, yeah, there's the other thing. I'm gonna show this this next week here. This is from James Harvey, A Life in Print. So we're gonna watch that next week. It seems really cool. Let me see. So Ron said, for my style of shooting, I generally need to have the camera as close to the puppet as possible to capture the perspective that makes the puppet look really big. I don't think I've ever used the zoom. Yeah, see, I use zoom a lot, especially on my zombie pirate film. I really need to, especially with the green screen behind it. But Randy says, I mostly do the same, Ron, though I have used the zoom in tight places where I can't get the camera close enough. Yeah, see, that's my issue, is on Zombie Pirate Tales. Let me open it up for you guys. I can show you. So like this shot here, I needed to zoom in close enough to have you know, Ruble here is saying, what was he saying here? Now what the heck is a mizzen rope, I think he says. And if I put the camera in too close, trying to animate it is really difficult, because the camera, I think when I used a 50mm, was like, you know, 1.5 feet away, and you know, I have really big hands, so. But that's the kind of shot that I used. I used a telephoto for this one and zoomed in quite a bit. But anyways, I guess, guys, that is going to conclude our show. I'm going to tell Zakira that she won the challenge and congratulate her. And I want to thank also Claymara for her challenge entry, as well as making the tutorial for the site, which I'm really proud to post up there on the challenges page here. And I definitely recommend anybody watch that if you want to see the process of how she does her films. All right, so see you guys all next week, and happy animating, I guess. Adios.